of all time, baby, believe me. G-O-A-T, greatest of all time, all time.
Kane is in the building.
Checking my vital signs, drawing my battle lines, going to war again. Feeling the rhythm inside of my chest, all I need is just a pen. I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. Don't care for the critics, my words are like physics, a force that they can't stop. They just don't get it, I think they forget I'm not done till I'm on top. I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. I believe we can write our story. I believe we can be an army. We are the warriors who learn to love the pain. tears, I face the doubts I hide. I never give in to my fears deep within, cause I heard my voice inside. I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. I will never lose my voice. If I cut out all the noise, I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. I believe we can write a story. I believe we can be an army. We are the warriors who learn to love the pain. We come from different places, but have the same name. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this. We are the broken ones who chose to spark the flame. Watch as the fire rages, our hearts are never tame. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this. Was it alright for someone like me to know you're not alone? The moves that you make, yeah, that come up mistakes, don't ever lose your hope. Just know you were born for this. Just know you were born for this. We are the warriors who learn to love the pain. We come from different places, but have the same name. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this. We are the broken ones who chose to spark the flame. Watch as the fire rages, our hearts are never tame. Cause we were born for this. 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 Yeah. Just tell me where you wanna go. Let me take you there. You see, I've been around the globe. I've seen a lot, but I wanna see what's above. I wanna see what's below. Just tell me where you wanna go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Sunday Night Showdown with the NextCar Racing League for tonight's NextCar Truck Series race here at the Tricky Triangle Pocono Raceway. That is right, folks. We're here at the Tricky Triangle for tonight's race that is getting ready to kick off Season 9 playoffs. And to help us count down to that green flag, well, that is none other than Payne to Luck. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, Ronnie?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Hey, doing all right. Just enjoying our time for the holiday season, trying to stay warm, you know?
No, absolutely. I'm not sure where the third part of our trio is tonight, but and maybe he'll join here soon. But hey, you know, tonight we got playoff racing. I can't believe it. The time is finally here, and it is time to go playoff racing.
For sure, Ronnie. You know how Matt Tucker is. Slow as albeit, but it looks like he just joined. But yeah, it's playoff time. Time to bring your A game. 12 drivers, 1 champion. It's starts tonight.
Yeah, Tuck, tonight, Season 9 playoffs getting kicked off here at the Tricky Triangle.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week. I mean, good to get up here in the booth. I mean, not as slow as Peyton's been all year, but yeah, got here just in time. So, yeah, excited for it and can't wait to get the first race started.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, excuse me, we talked about it all season long. The performance that Caleb Lamb had put on all season long from week 1 at Daytona to last week, at Darlington. But here he is, no longer leading the standings after everything gets reseeded, Matt. Noah Jackson, the new sheriff in town. But, I mean, you look at these standings, folks, you guys are going to see him scrolling across the bottom of your screen. It is as tight now as it has been all season long, Tuck.
Yeah, I mean, I think Caleb was so consistent. I mean, yeah, he got the 15 points for winning the championship, but didn't get a win, didn't win a stage. So that's the only playoff points he ended up with. So, yeah, that's what Noah did the best, was get the wins. Granted, he had a couple less races, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what Caleb does tonight. We'll see what Noah does tonight. So hopefully, be a good race.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got Noah Jackson first, Matt Tucker second, Caleb Lamb third, David Duran fourth, and then Peyton, you're in fifth, Ronnie Norman sixth, Paul Irvin seventh, and then Mr. Consistent himself, Trenton Branson, in eighth. But the story is that cutoff line. I know that's been the topic the last couple of races, Peyton, but that's so different here in the playoffs, especially for those drivers from 9th on 12th. Coming into tonight's race, they might be below that cutoff line, but now in the playoffs, Peyton, we are in that win and you're into the next round system. So, hey, who knows? You're below that cutoff line. You come out here and get that checkered flag tonight, you're sitting good for the next 2 races.
Yeah, Ronnie. One of the most underrated, in my opinion, things in our system right now is playoff points. You can see how much they truly shuffled everything. Once you get that reset, like earning playoff points out the whole regular season was so big, and like guys like Noah Jackson took mighty advantage of it. Like you just said, guys around the cutoff line who didn't get many stage wins or race wins, it's tight, and honestly, it's tight throughout the whole round. So good news for all these guys is, like you said, it's winning in now. So some of these guys, if you're in a bad spot, if you get to that final race or so and you're in a bad spot, you can swing for the fences knowing if you win, you're in the next round no matter what. But also you have 3 races to get it figured out, and it's really tight. So go out here and do your thing, and the most inconsistent drivers will make it to the next round.
Yeah, before we move on to Tuck, you mentioned something. You got 3 races to do it. But you know what? Tonight might be your best chance because we go to Atlanta Speedway next week, and then Chicagoland to round out the round of 1, Peyton. So where really is that track that you can really look at and say, now's my chance?
If you're talking about like the wild card race, of course, is Atlanta. I'd say Chicagoland's going to be that track that is the most skill-inducing, I guess, track on this first round. But this first round is definitely a wild card. Like you said, I mean, tonight we've got the Tricky Triangle. They don't call it the Tricky Triangle for nothing. And in Atlanta, there's going to be 2 really hard tracks to survive.
Tuck, how do you feel about the 3 tracks of this opening round of the Season 9 playoffs?
Well, I feel like Peyton's cutting himself short because I feel like Pocono is probably gonna be his best track. So, yeah, I feel like for all 12 guys, you have to have a good run tonight. So you can't put yourself in position to go into Atlanta and hope and pray that you get through there before you go to Chicago. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, and yeah, hopefully, my best track would probably be Chicago, but I'm also decent super speedway. But me and Peyton work well on those also. So, but good thing we have a good little points gap, so maybe we can just point our way through for the next round if we don't win a race.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're sitting at the top of the standings right now, like yourself, Peyton, you don't have as good of a cushion, but you're still in 5th. But how do you look at this round? And then Peyton, do you go, all right, let me just come out here and get points and then focus strictly on the second round of the playoffs where you've got the Roval and you've got a couple other tracks in there. You've got the Homestead Miami and Rockingham. At this stage of the season, here in the opening race of the playoffs, do you say, all right, I'm sitting pretty cool right now, let me focus on just doing enough now, or do you go out there and you get those checkered flags?
Yeah, it really depends. Honestly, mindset I think you should have for the playoffs. First round is a survival round. Second round is be on offense. It's the attack round. But the one big thing you got to remember in the survival round, the playoffs, this is technically the last. It's the only round that we still are earning playoff points for advancing. Because any playoff points we make in these 3 races will go to our total when it resets for that final round. any playoff points you make in that final round from the Roval all the way to Rockingham does absolutely nothing. None of those points go to Kansas. We reset at Kansas. So these next 3 races are the last 3 to try to earn any playoff points. So yes, you want to survive, but if you get in a situation you could try to get a playoff point or maybe still want to win for 5, you want to do it. So because at the end of the day, we know how tight these point battles are. We see it all the time. Guys will miss on going the next round by a point or 2 max. We see it every year. We'll see it again this year. So if you can get a point or 2, go get it.
Tuck, what's your take on that? You're sitting as the second most comfortable driver coming into tonight's race, second in the standings, 18 points above that cutoff line. How do you focus on these next 3 races?
Oh, like kind of like I said before, just try to just stay out of trouble. So I feel like not just like for me, for Noah, Paul, anybody. As long as you just stay out of trouble, the spots will come to you. So just try to get as many points as possible. And like what Peyton said, like the playoff points only carry over the next round. So, but the other thing to think about is totally different format than what we had in the regular season, where it's going to be win and move on. So if you win tonight, you're automatically in the round of 8. You don't have to worry about points.
Yeah, no, and how aggressive or how much does that play a part in your strategy tonight? Where obviously you've got your 8 drivers, some of them pretty comfortable above that cutoff line. Then you look further back, Branson just 1 point above. Irvin, he's just 4 points above. So how aggressive do some of those go? How aggressive do some of those guys get that are further down? And then obviously you've got your 4 drivers below the cutoff line. They're out here looking for that checkered flag. But when does it come a time, Peyton, where it's more risk versus reward?
I mean, as the round closes down, I think you'll have a better idea. But with the first 2 tracks being what they are, like if you're one of those guys that is around the cutoff, I think you just got to worry about surviving. You know there's going to be guys that have issues tonight at the Tricky Triangle. You know 100% without a doubt there's going to be guys that have issue at Atlanta. We don't have fast repairs for these races. So, I mean, I think you just kind of do your thing, be cool, calm, and collected, and see where you are in Chicagoland. That's, at least in my opinion, that's what guys should do. But we know there's going to be guys that are all go, all gas, no brake.
All gas, no brake.
Race around it. So, well, yeah, I wonder what we're talking about. But,
Hey, that got me to second the points. I don't want to hear from you.
so you'll see different mindsets, Ronnie, from each and every driver in the playoffs.
Tuck, where's your line for the risk versus reward here?
Funny coming from you guys, speaking every day in the chat saying it's 25's fault. So I guess the line's all the way to all the lines already been crossed multiple times, but no,
At least he's aware.
Like, yeah, whatever. So yeah, no, I really think like you don't really want to make enemies either. So I mean, there's been instances for this season where people have stepped over the line, and yeah, you just kind of want to keep a cool head with everybody, because let's say like you make a meeting with someone out of the playoffs, and you never know, they could pay you back later on. I mean, that would probably be frowned upon, but I mean, that could happen too. So you also have those non-playoff guys out here that are going for wins too. So I mean, they have every right to the track also.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I totally wanted to mention those. That's one thing we got to remember, Ronnie. We're talking about the 12 playoff guys, but one thing that goes untalked about a lot is those non-playoff guys. We see it time again in NXTCAR. There is so many times we get in the playoffs and these non-playoff guys win races, get first career wins, just show out. Because now these guys, yes, they're not in the playoffs, but they have nothing to lose. At this point, they're hunting for trophies, and we see it a lot where those guys go out and win these things. So keep your eye on the non-playoff guys. As we know in NASCAR and here in NXTCAR, it's not like other sports. Even though the playoffs have started, there's still the non-playoff guys out there. They're still playing to win, and they'll be an impact for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you look back through the history of NXTCAR, you got to go back to season 5. Not that far away or far in the back, but the opening round of the playoffs was swept by non-playoff drivers. All 3 races won by non-playoff drivers playing spoiler. And if that comes down to that, Peyton, it's all on points at that point. You know, so you have got to come out here, and that's where we talked about risk versus reward. Well, if you don't go out there and you don't perform and you're in the playoffs, it comes down to your performance all 3 races. So you might think that this is a nice, let me cruise all the way to the next round. Well, before you know it, that might not be the reality.
Exactly, which is why it becomes very interesting how each and every driver treats it. If you're in a situation at the end of the race and you could send it for a win, do you do it? Do you risk it? But remember, you're still point racing. Like, it's important you get points. Is it worth wrecking and finish 20th? I don't know. It's a question every driver has to ask themselves.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially at a track like this, Tuck, where this is Pocono. Anything can happen, and anything probably will happen. You know, this track is wide. This track, you have a lot of draft on that front long stretch. You've got the tunnel turn, where if you're able to set up your truck beautifully, you can get one heck of a run out of that tunnel turn. So who knows what's going to go down tonight? All I know, Tuck, is I am here for it.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. I mean, they don't call this a tricky triangle for nothing. So, I think turn 2 is probably going to be off of turn 2. You're going to have guys try to get good runs. You might have guys smack the wall. Might have guys get through there to make a race winning pass. So, yeah, looking forward to it, and hopefully it's a good race for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. But we are quickly closing in on the end of practice here. We got about 4 minutes left. So what's your thoughts on tonight's race? Start us off, Tuck.
It's just going to come down to strategy. I mean, we can go about 25-ish laps on gas, and I forget what stage is. I think
35.
we'll have to pit one time. 35, yeah. So you have to pit at least one time in stage. So, I mean, track position is also going to be key, too. I feel like if your truck's pretty solid, then you're going to have a good night. I mean, if you burn the tires real quick, it could be struggling for that first stage. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. There'll be a lot of strategy tonight.
You know, you mentioned it, the big S word, strategy. We're here at Pocono where strategy always plays a factor. And it seems like the last, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 races, Tuck, strategy has been where drivers have made or break their race. So what's going to be the winning strategy? You know, we see it early on. That first caution comes out, the field gets split in part. You know, some people come down pit road, some people stay out on the track. Strategy is going to definitely play a factor tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like best thing is to stay up front, right? I mean, that's kind of non-cliche answer, but whoever stays up front thinks going to win, and you never know. I mean, we could get a late race caution. You guys have tires too, so we're not going to know really until we get the race how much tires are going to mean. So hopefully it's exciting.
Absolutely. Peyton, what's your thought on tonight's race?
Yeah, I mean, Tuck alluded to it earlier a little bit. I don't need to look at the stats to know that this is definitely my best overall track statistically. But I was kind of in the past a little bit. Ever since they updated not only just the NASCAR, all the cars in general, but the track as well, I haven't been near as dominant here. So I'm hoping we have a good run tonight. I really love Pocono. It's a very fun track. It's always, like we all just talked about, there's a lot of strategy to it. And there's a lot of passing opportunities and way you run this race. Like, it's kind of it's a driver's track for sure, because the playbook's wide open. You can do whatever you want. So I love that about this track. But we're going to find that gear we had like we used to, because field's tight tonight. Beginning of the playoffs, everybody's going to go. So like we talked about, it's a survival race. But I'd like to have a good run tonight, ideally.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you mentioned it, the updates. How much do you think the dirty air is going to play a factor here? Because you got to rely on that draft, but going down into turns 1 and then down into the tunnel turn, it's going to play a huge factor, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Plus the draft. I think dirty air will be a big factor in the corners, whereas draft will be a big help during the straightaway. So it's kind of you almost got to set it up right, Ronnie. You need clean air in the corners, but then a big draft down the straightaways, and you'll be on the move. So you're going to be searching around for it all night long.
Yeah, absolutely. Any closing remarks you guys got before we let you guys go and get ready for qualifying here tonight?
Well, honor to be up here as always, Ronnie. Hopefully the 25 doesn't take out the whole field like he likes doing. I know the playoffs have started, but this is when he gets a little crazy. But hey, knock on wood, hopefully we'll have a clean race.
They've one race this year where I took out the field.
Brother, we ain't got enough time for that.
Yeah, that's one more race than anybody else.
It's a shorter list if you ask what race you haven't taken somebody out.
Look, I'm gonna do the Jimmy Johnson going into turn 1 right now.
But
I might not get time enough to do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, but hey, practice is quickly coming to an end here now. But hey, I appreciate you boys jumping up here once again as we kick off the Season 9 NextCar Truck Series playoffs. So appreciate you guys jumping up here once again, and best of luck to both of you guys tonight.
Thank you, Roddy.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Talk to you later.
But folks, that is your NextCar pre-race show from Pennsylvania here for the tricky triangle of Pocono Raceway. Folks, tonight, the NextCar Truck Series playoffs get kicked off here in Season 9. And what a better track than this to kick it all off than Pocono Raceway. Folks, this is the NextCar Truck Series playoffs.
Here we go. It's about time that we set it off. Here we go. Red lights, I could never stop. A dreamer with the fever to be great was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. A fighter with the fever for the fame was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. Got me singing like bang, 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 bang. This fire's a weapon. Bang, 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 bang. Won't stop till we're legend. Won't stop till we're legend. Here we go. It's my turn to make history. Here we go. When I'm gone, they'll remember me. Yeah, a dreamer with the fever to be great was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. A fighter with the fever for the fame was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. Got me singing like bang, 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 bang. This fire's a weapon. Bang, 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 bang. Won't stop till we're legend.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Pocono Raceway, where we are getting ready to get the Season 9 NextCar Truck Series playoffs kicked off here from Pocono Raceway. That is right, folks. The playoffs are here. I can't believe it. It feels just like Season 9 got kicked off last week at Daytona, but yet here we are getting ready to kick off the playoffs. Tonight, 12 drivers coming into tonight's race with their hopes and dreams still alive of reaching the pinnacle of NextCar and lifting that NextCar Truck Series Championship trophy at the end of Kansas in 6 weeks. Let's check out your race information for tonight here at Pocono. Season 9 playoffs, round 1, race 1 here for the Wares Turn 4 225, presented by True Designs Racing Cockpits and W Energy. True Designs back on board for the second consecutive season as the premier sponsor of the NextCar Racing League. If you guys do not know what True Designs is, well, it is a paint scheme creating company owned and operated by our very own Nicholas Trudeau. He has painted so many of these beautiful schemes you're going to see out here on the track tonight. 90 laps. Stage break coming at lap 35. Your weather, 73 degree Fahrenheit, 51% humidity under cloudy skies with that wind at 9 miles an hour. But folks, that track temperature sitting at a cool 86 degrees Fahrenheit. This track is cool. This track has got a lot of grip in it. And that means that these trucks are going to be absolutely flying around this 2.5 mile track. Folks, there is no other track on the NextCar circuit like Pocono. 3 corners, 3 completely different corners from each other. And that means one thing and one thing only. We are in for a good one tonight. But folks, the playoffs getting kicked off right here tonight. I can't believe it. The season is flying by, and will we finally get a winner that will punch his ticket to the next round, or will it be one of these drivers that are not in the playoffs looking to play spoiler tonight? Only time will tell. Let's check out your Season 9 schedule. You can see it on the right-hand side, folks, under the playoffs, Pocono. Then next week, we go to Atlanta Speedway. We're going to be, after that, Chicagoland is going to end round 1. And then round 2 gets kicked off at the Charlotte Roval, Homestead, Miami, and followed up by Rockingham Speedway. And then your Season 9 champion will be crowned after 140 laps at Kansas Speedway. So we've still got a lot of racing ahead of us this season. But, folks, qualifying has come to an end. That means one thing and one thing only. We are getting ready to go playoff racing here tonight. Let's check out your starting grid for tonight here in your first race of the Season 9 playoffs. Noah Jackson coming into tonight's race as your points leader after the reseeding with the playoff points. He's going to grab the first pole of the playoffs with David Duran to his outside. Paul Irvin's going to qualify third with Matt Tucker to his outside in fourth. Row number 3 is going to go to Max Gamble, your first non-playoff driver, in fifth, and Paint to Luck in sixth. Caleb Lamb, your regular season champion, back in seventh. Vincent Short in eighth. Devontae Peterson ninth with Patrick James in 10th. Row number 6 is going to go to Robert Wavell in 11th with Michael Lamphere in 12th. Ronnie Norman deep in the field in 13th with Chris Taylor 14th, Adam Curtis 15th, Harold Tucker 16th, and Robert Hassong rounding out your field in that 17th position. Let's see if we can't dial up your pole sitter Noah Jackson here for a quick pre-race interview. Noah Jackson, it's Ronnie in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Yeah, what's up?
All right, buddy. Can't get the playoffs started off any better than this. First race of the playoffs and the first pool. What's it going to take tonight here at the Tricky Triangle?
Track position and just try not to burn your freaking tires up because this place is notorious for it. So if we get stuck in traffic, we're just going to have to manage, pick and choose our battles because dirty air will literally kill the tires around this place.
Yeah, absolutely. Walk me through what kind of momentum you picked up. Obviously, you did not win the regular season championship, but when everything got reseeded with the playoff points, you now find yourself at the top of the leaderboard.
Oh, I mean, it definitely gives us some momentum for sure, but we're still going to have to keep on checking these, chasing these checker flags and all these stage points because that's the name of the game. You can't have enough points because nobody's safe, especially with how close everything is. So we're just going to have to keep our head up and keep on focusing forward.
Absolutely, buddy. Best of luck tonight.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Folks, that was your pole sitter, Noah Jackson. Finished third in the regular season, but after the playoff points got added to the totals, he now finds himself tonight coming into this race at the top of the standings. 3 wins this season. Can he add another one tonight? Only time will tell. David Duran to his outside. Paul Irvin looking to pick up right where he left off at the end of the regular season, picking up some momentum, finally getting himself inside the top 10 at the checkered flag. Can he carry that momentum throughout the playoffs as they are looking to advance to the second round of the NextCar Truck Series playoffs here in Season 9? But, folks, the pace car leading the field out of turn number 3 for the first time tonight. Hooking that hard left onto pit lane. The control of the field is in the flagman's hands, and we are playoff racing here at Pocono. Green flag is in the air. Up through the gears they go, bumper to bumper, side by side down here into turns 1. Still dead even for the first 2 rows. Irvin pushing all over the back of the 08. 24 up the track a little bit. 25, Matt Tucker slides up. 48 following suit. Noah Jackson clears Durand out front. Now, Tucker pushing on the back bumper of the 48. Now, here comes Paul Irvin trying to look to the outside of 24. Nothing to do. Now he's going to try to look to the bottom. Here comes Durand. Payne to luck all over the inside of the 25 for the first time down here in the tunnel turn. Thinks better of it. Single file for the first 9 trucks. Noah Jackson continuing to lead the way out of the tunnel turn down here into turn 3. Oh, big slide out of the 3 of Devontae Peterson. The majority of the field single file this time. Norman first truck side by side with Harold Tucker. Harold Tucker on the bottom, Norman up high. Caleb Lamb jumping out of position. He's looking to the inside of the 15 of Vincent Short down here into the tunnel turn. Goes for the move, side by side, gets the left tires down on the yellow line, pushes up, cuts the nose off the 15 out of the tunnel turn. Short's going to remember that if they get back into this position later on in the race here on lap 2. Already cutting it close here out of the tunnel turn. Jackson continues 0.3 of a second lead over Durand and the rest of the field here tonight. Hard up into the outside wall. I think that was Patrick James. No, make it Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor running the throwback Greg Biffle 16 National Guard Ford F-150 scheme. Durand holding strong in second. Paul Irvin third. Matt Tucker fourth. Payne Tulloch up 1 into fifth. Max Gamble down 1 into sixth. Your biggest mover of the race so far is Chris Taylor in that 54 in 11th. Robert Asong also up 3 positions since the drop of the green flag. Matt Tucker all over the back bumper of Paul Irvin. It's time down here into turn 3. Irvin up the track on the exit, almost up into the outside wall. That's going to open up the door for the 25 and the 17. 17, bump draft into 25 down the front stretch here like they're at Daytona and Talladega. Draft, so important here at Pocono, more than you would think down these long straightaways. 25, going to clear the 48. 48 way up the track once again. Irvin trying to hold it down low. He's going to get up into those marbles. Cuts the nose off the 17 to protect the inside. Now with a big run, he gets to the inside of the 25 down the backstretch. Still side by side heading into the tunnel turn this time here on lap 4. 48 inside, 25 outside. Side by side, that's going to get tight off the corner exit. They keep it clean. 25 prevails. Tucker moves up into that third position with Durant just ahead of him. Here comes Payne Tulloch looking to the outside. Payne Tulloch almost looking to the outside of Paul Irvin. Nothing doing this time through turn 3. Patrick James back here with a mirror full of Chris Taylor in the 54. James just ahead of him in that 10th position. Adam Curtis back here at the tail end of the field in 17th spot. He needs to get some points here tonight coming into tonight's race below that cutoff line. Can he get his season turned around and possibly get to victory lane for the first time here in season 9? But out front, Noah Jackson, David Durand continuing to hold strong as the front 2 runners tonight so far. Looking back off the rear deck, your leader, Noah Jackson, back at Durand and the rest of the field behind him. Matt Tucker applying some pressure to the back bumper of the 51 of David Durand, this time out of turn 1. Down the long backstretch they go, heading down into this tunnel turn. Max Gamble a couple car lengths back in the 77. Fastest lap of the race so far is going to the number 6 and the 11th position, Ronnie Norman, with a 55.31. And actually now Peyton Tulloch's going to take over the fastest lap of the race so far with a 54.830 in that fourth position at 165 mile an hour here in that fourth position in the Bent Creek Kennels Chevy number 17. All over the back bumper, Matt Tucker to 25, who's now trying to maybe look underneath the 51 of Duran. Nothing to it. Duran got a little squirrely that time out of the tunnel turn. Your top four just bumper to bumper running in a line, starting to leave Max Gamble in the 77 behind. Gamble 0.8 of a second back. He's got Caleb Lamb just behind him. Now Tucker's looking to the inside of David Duran. Tucker trying to break the side draft. Peyton Tulloch comes down to help. Now he's going to go to the outside of the 25. Does he leave him some room to come back up? He does not. 25 now has to settle back in line behind the 24. Tucker trying to do everything he can to get around that 51 machine of David Duran. Here comes Duran one more time on the outside. Tucker looking low again. Nothing doing this time out of one as they're going to funnel down here down the backstretch into the tunnel turn this time. Oh, apparently they decided to put a camera behind the safer barrier. That's a great camera placement. Good job. Noah Jackson continuing to hold off the field, but they are side by side in his rearview mirror for second. Matt Tucker once again to the inside, has to tuck back in behind that Hershey Chevy of Durand. The field single file down the front stretch this time here on lap 9. Harold Tucker just ahead of Robert Wavell in the 59 with Robert Asong just behind him in the 29. Here comes Adam Curtis making a move here to the inside of Asong. Out of turn 2 that time. I'm sorry, out of turn 1. Funneling down here into the tunnel turn. Nothing doing for the 69 this time as they are starting to now lose contact of the first front pack of cars. Michael Lamphere, the last car in the first pack in that bright red 13. Here comes David Duran with a full head of steam this time down the backstretch. Snaking his way down the front stretch goes the 08 of Noah Jackson, trying to break the draft. 51 all over his back bumper into 1. Matt Tucker up the track. That can open up the door for the 17 of Tulloch. Oh, the 17 got a little squirrely that time on corner exit. Nothing doing. No power to put down. He's going to have to get back behind that 25. Jackson survives another set of corners tonight. Caleb Lamb has worked his way around the 77 of Max Gamble. Gamble falls back to that 6th position. Vincent Short just behind him in that 15 Chevy, trying to work his way up through the field. Short looking to continue the strong run in the regular season he had all season long in that number 15 Chevy. Looking to continue that tonight here as we kick off the Season 9 playoffs. But out front, Noah Jackson continues to lead the way. Here comes David Duran. He's going to have full head of steam. He's going to look to the inside of the 08 this time. Side by side for the lead here in turn 1 at Pocono. 51 inside, 08 outside, side by side. Where does Matt Tucker in the 25 go? He's going to have full head of steam. 51 jumps up the block, 25 goes to the bottom. Now they're still going to be side by side in the tunnel turn here. 25 inside, 51 outside. Tucker looking for more into the tunnel turn. Peyton Tulloch just riding by line. Tucker clears the 51 this time. Peyton Tulloch just sitting right behind these two, battling side by side, just waiting his turn. Says, you know what, you guys continue burning up your tires running side by side. I'll just sit back here and wait for my time. Now Tulloch's going to try to make a move. Oh, Gamble, is he coming to pit road? I don't know if he came to pit road on purpose or not, but the 77 was all sorts of sideways off of turn 3. But either way, that's 77 on pit road this time. Looks like there might be a little bit of damage to the right side. We're going to have to keep an eye on that 77 machine. Looked like there might have been a little bit of damage to the right side of that truck. Maybe not. He's down and away. Looked like it was pushed in quite a bit, but back out front, Jackson, Tucker, Durant, Tulloch, your first 4 trucks with Lamb, Short, Peterson, Irvin, Norman, and Taylor rounding out your top 10. So already we talked about in the pre-race show, folks, how important strategy was going to be tonight. Well, you saw it already for Max Gamble, giving up that 6th place spot, coming down, making his pit stop. Now he can make it to the end of the stage without any issue. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to have to keep an eye on that 77 as the 51 way up the track down here into turns 1. Tulloch not close enough to take advantage of it this time. Right now, Chris Taylor holding on to that 10th and final points-paying position at the end of lap 35, where the stage will conclude. Your top 10 finishers at the end of lap 35, they will get a point depending on where they finish. But out front, still side by side, potentially for second. Durand, he's starting to inch back closer to that 25 of Matt Tucker, ever so slightly running that high line. He's getting the much better run off the corner, then using the draft beautifully to the back bumper of the 25 of Tucker. Gives him a shot going down here into turns 1. What a shot from the 51. But here comes the 17. Tulloch says, you know what, you can go up there and bump him all you want. I want to get a little bit of this action. Here comes the 51 now looking to the inside of the 25. Once again, folks, side by side for second. This time, 51 inside, 25 outside. Down on that yellow line with those left tires. Let's jump on a helmet cam of paint to walk into 17. Let's see what he sees out front. The side-by-side battle maybe going to work its way out. Tulloch with a big run this time out of 3. 51 up into the outside wall. Caleb Lamb coming to pit road this time as well. Durand not backing down. And through all of this, Noah Jackson is looking in that rearview mirror and saying, thank you, boys. Continue battling out back because I can finally get a little bit of a breathing room here out front. 4/10 of a second to gap from first and second. But folks, as we are moving on to lap 16 here, we are going to do a quick moment of silence in memorial of Greg Biffle, who lost his life this week. Greg Biffle meant a lot to the NASCAR community and especially the community of South Carolina and North Carolina after the hurricane hit. But, folks, out front here on lap 18, Noah Jackson continuing to show the way here ahead of Matt Tucker, David Duran, and Peyton Tulloch. Your top four with Devontae Peterson rounding out your top five, and the side-by-side battle for second continues here on lap 18. 51 inside, 25 outside once again here into the tunnel turn. Green flag pit stops continuing here at Pocono. When the leaders come down, they cannot make it to the end of this stage. They're about 10 laps short at the drop of the green flag, so these drivers, they all have to pit at least one time here in stage one. It's just a matter of when do you pit, but these two continue to run side by side. Peyton Tulloch says, all right, I want by you. He's going to make the move on David Duran. He's up in the third, Duran back into fourth. Peterson, Norman, Vincent Short still bumper to bumper back here in fifth, sixth, and seventh. Michael Lamphere, little ways back here in that eighth position. He's 3.7 seconds behind that battle that we were just watching for fifth. Harold Tucker, 2.2 back from Lamphere in ninth, with Robert Wavell in 10th. Oh! Tucker hard into the outside wall out of turn one. That's going to open up the door for the 17 of Peyton Tulloch. He's going to go around the outside. Can a 51 make the same move here into turn three? Tucker probably coming to pit road this time after that. Yes, he is. Matt Tucker on pit road. Clean entrance so far. Yes, it is. Michael Lamphere coming to pit road as well on the 13. So now, a lot of damage it looks like to the right front of that truck. Looks like there's quite a bit of damage to the right front fender. He hit that wall a ton out of that tunnel turn, so we're going to have to keep an eye on just how much does that affect the way that 25 handles. He's down and away without having to get too much repair on it, but that fender definitely looks like it's pushed in quite a bit. Duran way up the track here in turn three. As the leader, Matt Tucker just came down. He was running in that second spot. So when does that play your card here if you're one of these top three drivers now? Devontae Peterson dips onto pit road into three. The leader still bumper to bumper to bumper, drafting down the long straightaway like this is Daytona and Talladega. Wavell on pit road to 59 as well. Your top six have yet to pit. Seventh on back, all have pitted here so far in this first stage with 15 to go. Side-by-side battle for second. This time it's Tulloch. 17 outside, 51 inside. Duran wants to get back by that 17 to Tulloch into second. Nothing doing this time. Tulloch's dipping onto pit road into 17 this time. Oh, he's going to lock those rear tires up. Does he get it slowed up in time? That's going to leave Jackson, Duran, Norman, Vincent Short, the only drivers to not come down pit road yet, along with Harold Tucker in the 79. Oh, Duran up into the outside wall off of two. Man, that tunnel turn, it doesn't care if you're in the front of the pack or the back of the pack. It is making its presence felt tonight. Neither of the two top drivers coming down pit road this time here with 13 to go in the stage. Tulloch, he's fallen back into that 10th position after that pit stop. He got leached by Gamble, Irvin, Tucker got by him. Caleb Lamb got by him. So staying out as long as the 17 did got him leaped by several drivers. That's going to be something that these two out front are going to keep an eye on, and everybody is going to remember when it comes to the end of this race. Jackson and Durand. When does the 08 and the 51 come down pit road? Harold Tucker on pit road this time. Actually, he's leaving pit road now. Jackson looks like he might be coming this time. Yes, he is. And is Durand. Both drivers, both leaders coming to pit road. Durand, better slow it up, buddy. He does. Your leaders on pit road. That leaves Ronnie Norman and Vincent Short as the only two drivers yet to pit here in stage one. They cannot make it to the end. So with 12 laps to go, these two, they will have to make a pit stop. Just ahead of them is Robert Wavell, who's able to get back on the lead lap into 59 in that 17th spot. Down through the tunnel turn they go. When does the 6 and 15 come to pit road? And look at the ticker, folks. Look at Jackson and Durand both falling. Jackson's going to come out. He's out of pit road. He's in 9th. Durand is still on pit road into 51. I don't think he got slowed up in time. Speeding penalty for the 51 of David Durand. Remember, he was second at the time of pitting. Huge penalty for the 51. Norman's on pit road into 6. Vincent Short, the last driver left the pit. David Durand now leaving pit road, one lap down in that 51 Hershey Chevy. He got lucky that Wavell was able to get back onto the lead lap here. If not, that might have been enough to trap that 51 a lap down at the end of this stage in 11 laps. Norman, he's coming off of pit road now in the 6th. Vincent Short, your current leader. When does he make that left-hand turn onto pit road here? Coming through turn 3 this time. Does he stay low? Yes, he does. He's coming to pit road this time. Can he get that Chevy slowed up in time? And that is going to hand the lead over to Caleb Lamb in the 4 after everything cycles through. Your regular season champion will take over the lead here at Pocono, but Matt Tucker, paint to luck, just behind him with much fresher tires. Caleb Lamb pit on lap 14. Matt Tucker, lap 19. Paint to luck, lap 21. And there goes Lamb, your regular season champion, through to the lead. 10 laps to go in this stage, folks. 10 to go here in stage 1 at Pocono. $25 miles here left in stage 1. Tucker just behind him, half a second. To luck, 9/10 of a second back in closing. How much of a fight can the 4 of Lamb put up here tonight? Tucker to the bottom, underneath the 4. That's going to get tight. Tucker almost down into the infield grass here. Lamb up high. Tucker down low. Paint to luck just behind these two. Where does he go into 17? I would assume he's probably going to go with the 25 since he's got fresher tires. No, he's going to save the 4. No, he's going to make it 3 wide this time. 3 wide down here. Why did the camera switch? 3 wide for the lead, folks. Lamb outside. Tucker inside. To luck on the bottom. Caution is out as we were 3 wide for the lead. Unbelievable. 3 wide for the lead here at Pocono through turn 1 as the caution comes out. Drivers putting it all on the line here tonight. Wow. And that is with 9 laps to go in this stage, folks. We talked to 2 of those drivers that were 3 wide about where risk versus reward crosses the line. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say they threw that line out the window there, and they were looking all for that reward. But let's back it up and let's see what exactly happened to Vincent Shorten of 15, who brought out your first caution of the night. He's sitting inside of Robert Asong in the 29. Oh, his song just comes off the corner a little sideways, it looked like. Let's see if we can't get a better look from our next car chopper here. I don't know, actually. Looked like it's kind of met in the middle there. Right there. I think he's expected a song to be a lot higher up. It looked like a song. Can't tell if a song got loose or what there off a corner exit off of 3 there. Let's see if we can't get it a good chase cam here. Let's jump on the helmet cam. Let's watch his wheel go to work here on corner exit. Yeah, he's got a crank to the right there. He's definitely a little loose. Obviously, he didn't do it on purpose. That's not what I'm getting at, but just little slide that time out of turn 3. But folks, under caution for the first time tonight here at Pocono. We're going to step away here for a quick break. Don't go anywhere because we have got the end of stage 1 right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
So come on, put your hands up. Come on, put your hands up. On a roll, never fold, never have enough. Overtime in the grind, put your banners up. Never giving up before it's over. Never counting on them 4-leaf clover. We could feel the fire, never getting tired. We ain't gonna stop till we drop and we hit the floor. Come on, all my soldiers, do it like I told you. We ain't gonna stop. So come on and put your hands up. We gonna bring the house down. No one could ever stop us. We're gonna set it off right now. Come on, put your hands up. So come on, put your hands up. Come on, put your hands up.
Come on, all my soldiers. Do it like I told you. Come on, all my soldiers. Do it like I told you. Come on, all my soldiers. Do it like I told you. Come on, all my soldiers. Do it like I told you.
So come on and put your hands up. We're gonna bring the house down. No one could ever stop us. We're gonna set it off right now. Come on, put your hands up. So come on, put your hands up. Come on, put your hands up.
This is my time, I've waited long enough. I'm taking my moment, don't matter how it was. No regrets, no matter how hard it gets. I'm going for greatness.
All right, folks, welcome back here to the NextCar Truck Series here at Pocono Raceway in the opening race of the Season 9 NextCar Truck Series playoffs. We are getting ready to go back racing this time by here where we are getting ready to go racing to end this stage. The pace car hooking that hard left back onto pit lane. The control of the field is in the hands of the 25, and we are back racing this time. 5 laps to go here in stage 1. Matt Tucker gets a great launch. Paul Irvin does the same in a 48W Chevy. Where did he come from? He's up to second. Peyton Tulloch falls back to third. Caleb Lamb fourth. Ronnie Norman. Noah Jackson side by side for fifth. Jackson prevails this time out of 1. Here comes Devontae Peterson in a number 3 Goodwin Chevy. He's going to look to the inside of Norman. Maybe trying to make a move down here into the tunnel turn. Thinks better of it. Tucks back in front of the 16. I'm sorry, the 54 of Chris Taylor. Side by side just ahead of these guys. Norman trying to look through the middle between Liam and Jackson. Thinks better of it. Backs out of it. That is a side-by-side battle for 4th. Jackson throws it in there. Liam giving him not an inch. Where does Norman go? He's going to stay with Caleb Lamb. He's going to push the 4. He's going to get past the 08. Jackson now has to fall in behind Norman. Norman with the big move to pass him. Payne Tulloch up front, looking for more down here in turn 1. He's looking to get back up in a second on the inside of Irvin. You can see Irvin on the outside in the red W Chevy. Still side by side, Jackson and Norman riding long here with Devontae Peterson. On board the number 3. Oh, here comes Chris Taylor throwing it into the tunnel turn. Where did he come from? Trying to make up some points here as we are closing in on the end of this stage. That slowed up that 3 tremendously. You can see how much Payne Tulloch way up the track into 17. Now that should give the 17 a big run of momentum down the front stretch here as he's trying to run down the 48. Tucker trying to break the draft, snake in the field down the front stretch here with 3 to go. Caleb Lamb with the help of Noah Jackson in the 08. He's trying to throw it in there. Side by side for the lead here down the backstretch. Matt Tucker outside. Paul Irvin inside. Where does Payne Tulloch go? We saw how he's willing to be aggressive here, but this time not into the tunnel turn. He backs off. Still side by side. 48-25. Payne Tulloch looking to possibly set himself up for another big move down into turn 1 like we had before. Actually, he's going to push Tucker clear to 48. Now he's going to look to do the same on corner exit at 3. Up the track goes to 48-25, trying to figure out who he's going to block. Oh, and around goes Lamb out back, your regular season champion, hard into the inside wall. Caution is out, and that will end your stage as your regular season champion. Head on into the pit road wall here on the front stretch. Caution is out for the second time tonight. Let's back it up and let's see what happened to Caleb Lamb. Oh, Chris Taylor on his outside got loose on corner exit. Right there, he gets loose, comes down and hooks him. Man, obviously not intentional there for Taylor, but, well, good luck telling the 4 that. As his night goes up in sparks here with 2 laps to go in the stage. Let's jump on the helmet cam. Man, no idea that that is coming. But caution for the second time tonight, and that one is going to end stage 1. So Matt Tucker, Payton Tulloch, Paul Irvin, Noah Jackson, Ronnie Norman, Chris Taylor, Devontae Peterson, David Duran, Robert Wavell, and Harold Tucker. Your top 10 at the end of that stage. And pit road is busy. Patrick James deciding to stay out under this caution here in the 82. He pitted under that first caution, so deciding to stay out this time. David Duran, Harold Tucker, first two off of pit road, with Matt Tucker, Peyton Tulloch, Noah Jackson, Max Gamble, and the rest of the field. But, folks, we're going to step away here for a quick break. Don't go anywhere because we have got the drop of the green flag for the second stage right around the corner. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Tears I face the doubts I hide. I never give in to my fears, people think as I heard my voice inside. I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. I will never lose my voice. If I cut out all the noise, I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. I believe we can write a story. I believe we can be an army. We are the warriors who learn to love the pain. We come from different places, but have the same name. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this. We are the broken ones who chose to spark a flame. Watch as a fire rages. Our hearts are never tame. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this. Was it alright for someone like me to know you're not alone? The moves that you make, yeah, that come up mistakes. Don't ever lose your hope. Just know you were born for this. Just know you were born for this. We are the warriors who learn to love the pain. We come from different places, but have the same name. Cause we were.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Pocono Raceway for the NextCar Truck Series, where we have just ended the first stage tonight, and we are now racing to that checkered flag at the conclusion of lap 90. But, folks, that pace car hooking that hard left onto pit lane. The control of the field is in the hands of Patrick James in the 82. He's on the outside row into the restart zone. We go. Green flag is back in the air here at Pocono. Great start by the 82. Great launch by the 25. Immediately jumping to the inside. That's Matt Tucker. Can he get to the inside of the 82? He cannot. He jumps up to protect the outside of the 08. Here comes the 51 of Duran. Now the 25 Tucker drives it in deep through turn one. Remember, the 82 is on a lot older tires here. Just 6 laps, but those 6 laps here at Pocono can make a lot of difference. But right now, holding strong on the inside of the 82. The 08 of Noah Jackson shoving the 25 down the backstretch here into the tunnel turn. Tucker holds on. Now, here comes the 08 and Noah Jackson. He's up into second. Patrick James jumps up in front of David Duran to protect the outside from third. Now, here comes the 51 looking for the outside. Just behind him, Harold Tucker in the 79 Chevy. He's worked his way up to the front. Can he stay up there? Devontae Peterson hard into the outside wall out of 3, into 3. Payne to luck just behind that 79 of Harold Tucker. David Duran possibly looking to the inside, and he will. Contact between him and the 82. Patrick James keeps it under control. He keeps that truck going straight. Great save by the 82 of Patrick James. Unbelievable save down there in turn 1. My goodness. Out front, though. Bumper to bumper for first from Tucker and Jackson. Just behind them, Duran, Harold Tucker, Peyton to luck, and the rest of the field. Caleb Lamb just limping that number 4 Racing Paradise Chevy Silverado around this 2.5 mile track. 8 seconds behind the leader, way off pace. Unfortunate turn of events tonight for your regular season champion. Not the way he was looking to get his playoffs kicked off here at Pocono. He's going to have himself a big hole to dig himself out of. But if there's anyone that can do it, it is that regular season champion of Caleb Lamb. But out front, Matt Tucker and Noah Jackson continue to run bumper to bumper down the short chute here into the tunnel turn. Matt Tucker looking to keep that 08 at bay. Side by side for 6. That's Norman and Peterson. Peterson inside, Norman outside. Norman in the playoffs, Peterson is not. Peterson's going to take that position down here in turn 1, but can Norman battle back on the outside? Yes, he can. Norman trying to hold his own on the outside of the 3. Now, down here into the tunnel turn, Norman's going to make the pass, holds off Peterson. Just ahead of them, Payne Tulloch applying the pressure to the back bumper of Harold Tucker in the 79. Now Tulloch's looking to the inside of the 79 down here in turn 3. 79 outside, 17 inside, 79 powers back. He gets back to the throttle before the 17. He can get back to the outside of the 17. Can he hold him off at bay? Yes, he will. Devontae Peterson, big slide that time out of 3 into 3. Noah Jackson continuing to breathe all over the back bumper of that Mr. Pibb Chevy down here into turn 1 once again. Just behind them, David Duran right along in the 51 Hershey Chevy. Tulloch once again trying his hand at the inside pass of Harold Tucker. Nothing doing down the backstretch this time, having to regroup here into the tunnel turn. Oh, big slide out of the 79. That's going to allow the 17 to get to the outside. Here comes Norman in the 6 to help. 17's going to clear the 79 this time. Tulloch up into the 4th. Can Norman follow suit in the 6? He's still to the outside of the 79 out of 3. Norman's going to get the big draft off the 17 of Tulloch. He's going to clear the 79. Here comes the 15 to short. Can he make a move down here to turn 1? He cannot. Peterson says, if you're not going to make a move, I'm going to make a move on you. Peterson up into the outside wall. He's trying to make a move down here in turn 1 into 3. Man, Devontae Peterson, now he's going to get the big run off corner exit. 15 doesn't block. 3 goes for the move. 79, where does he go? Does he try to block the 3? He does not. Side by side, the 15 backs out. Short backs out to live to see another corner. Now here comes Chris Taylor. He's all over the back bumper of the 15. These drivers, they're saying, you know what, if you're not going to take the momentum run and make a move, we're going to do it on you. Here they come, 15 way up the track. Chris Taylor running that yellow line this time through turn 3 while the 15 was way up the track. These drivers continuing to put it all on the line here tonight. Riding along with the 15 machine of Vincent Short in that 8th position, just behind Peterson in the 3. Now on the 51 of David Duran in that 3rd position, just behind your 2 leaders, bumper to bumper here through the tunnel turn. Tucker trying to continue to hold off Noah Jackson. Tucker, your last week's winner at Darlington. Durand in 3rd, Peyton Tulloch 4th, Ronnie Norman 5th, Paul Irvin, the story of the regular season, how long it took him to finally break into the top 10 at that checkered flag. Well, right now, he is back in that 12th position in that W Chevy number 48. This race tonight, not shaping up the way that he needed it to so far. Last pit on lap 35, so going on 10 lap old tires here. But out front, side-by-side battle. Durand outside, Jackson inside. Durand makes the pass. He moves up to 2nd in a Hershey Chevy. Can he get to the back bumper, Matt Tucker? Tulloch 1.7 back just ahead of Norman, Harold Tucker, and the rest of the field. Devontae Peterson once again trying to make a move down here into turn 3. To the inside of the 79 of Harold Tucker. Can he do it this time? Oh, that's going to get tight. Oh, man. Almost trading paint on corner exit. Neither driver willing to give an inch to the other one. Patrick James on pit road. James dips on the pit road in the 82. Remember, he stayed out at the end of the stage, so that is going to play a factor in this pit cycle for him. But now Tucker, Durand, Jackson, your top 3. Tulloch, Norman, rounding out your top 5 with Harold Tucker, Devontae Peterson, Vincent Short, Chris Taylor, Robert Wavell, rounding out your top 10. A great rebound for the 59 of Wavell. Remember, he was a lap down after some unfortunate pit incident there under the green flag pit stops in stage 1, but able to rebound, get back on the lead lap, and here he is inside the top 10, just ahead of Michael Lanfear at 13, with Paul Irvin right behind him in 12th. Robert Asong in 13th, Adam Curtis 14th, Max Gamble in 15th, with Caleb Lamb, your regular season champion, 16th, with Patrick James in 17th. So both of those drivers, Lamb and James, needing a good night tonight, and it just is not looking like it's going to go their way. The 82 just coming off of pit road after pit strategy stop here on lap 46. Noah Jackson continuing to apply the pressure to the back bumper, the 51 of David Duran. Now Duran all over the back bumper. Matt Tucker in the 25. Is he going to give him a shot down here into turn 1? He does not, but man, he was applying the pressure to the back bumper, that Mr. Pibb Silverado. But now he's going to back off, try to get some clean air to the nose of that 51 Hershey's. Can he get back to the back bumper to the 25 with the help of Noah Jackson behind him? Look at that bump drafting down the backstretch here at Pocono like this is Daytona. Let's jump on the roof cam here of the 08 of Noah Jackson. Jackson's going to get a great roll. Durant up into the outside wall out of the tunnel turn. And the tunnel turn continues to play a factor here on lap 48. Jackson, he's going to make them pass through into second. Durant falls back to third. Tucker, now with some breathing room between himself and second place, Noah Jackson. Devontae Peterson continues his strong run in that 6th position, just ahead of Harold Tucker in a 79. Rodney Norman just behind that 17 of Peyton Tulloch, trying to work with him, trying to run down the 3 trucks ahead of them. The leader, a 56.2, while Peyton Tulloch's last lap was a 56.5. So Matt Tucker running very, very much faster lap times than back here in that 4th position. But now Tucker has the 08 of Jackson all over his back bumper once again, this time down here into turns 1. Durant continuing to run that middle line through turn 1, trying to get that big momentum run off the corner. He's going to be able to do so, but not going to be able to get to the back bumper of the 08 this time. Jackson's falling off the back bumper of Tucker as well. Down into the tunnel turn they go here on lap 50, just past the halfway point in this race tonight. Looking back off the rear deck lid of Matt Tucker in the 25, your current leader. Looking back at Jackson and Durant right behind him, bumper to bumper. First, second, third, all bumper to bumper, just riding behind each other right now. With 40 laps to go in this race. Still a long way to go here at Pocono. Matt Tucker continues his strong run tonight. He has led 22 laps to this junction of the race so far. Remember, before the end of that stage, right before Matt Tucker made that green flag pit stop, he made some hard contact with the outside wall off the tunnel turn exit. But obviously not enough to play a factor in the handling of that Mr. Pibb Chevy Silverado, because he is out there in clean air leading this race so far tonight. Just ahead of the leaders, Caleb Lamb in at number 4. 4 seconds ahead of your leaders and 4 seconds away from going a lap down. This is your regular season champion tonight. After getting turned off the front bumper of the 54, he went head on into the pit road wall, and now heavy damage to the front of that Chevy Silverado. Max Gamble coming to pit road in a 77 Chevy. Paul Irvin, Michael Lanphier battling it out for that 11th position. Lanphier currently holds the spot. Paul Irvin wants it. Lanphier missing out on the Season 9 Truck Series playoffs this season. Just wasn't quite the season that 13 of Michael Lanphier was looking for. Started in that 12th position, up into 11th. Payne Tulloch's coming to pit road in a 17 Chevy. He's going to give up that 4th running spot. And now, they're going to get around Caleb Lamb. Never mind. By the 17 of Tulloch giving up that 4th running spot. Now Norman's up into 4th. Peterson's up into 5th. Your top 3 still bumper to bumper to bumper here, running 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Looks like Tucker might be coming to pit road this time. Yes, he is. The 25 leader coming to pit road. Jackson's following suit. We saw what happened last time. Jackson, he might not have gotten that dude wiped Chevy Silverado slowed up in time. We are going to have to keep an eye on that. Did Jackson get that truck slowed up in time? That leaves David Durand, the 3rd part of that leading trio. He's still out on the track. Does he come down to not try to get leaped here? Can he come down to prevent the big undercut here from the other 2? Jackson, no speeding penalty for the 08. Unbelievable. You saw the closing speed. Even a 25 of Tucker thought he was going to get into him a little bit. Now here comes Durand this time. Fire coming out of the right side pipes. Oh, Durand, you better get that truck slowed up too, brother. Looks like he's going to get it slowed up in time as well here in that 51. That's going to hand the lead over to Ronnie Norman. Devontae Peterson, he's through to 2nd. Harold Tucker's through to 3rd. Gonna have to keep an eye on where does David Durand blend back in with Matt Tucker, Noah Jackson. They're coming off of turn 3 right now. Durand, just now the left side tire's going up. Now it's down. He's down and away. Here comes Matt Tucker and Noah Jackson drafted off each other. Once again, they're going to make the big pass this time on a 51 of Durand. Tulloch's going to leap him as well. Man, and just like that, David Durand has fallen off the battle for the lead. Now to 4th. Way behind Noah Jackson. Almost 4 seconds behind that battle that he was once a part of. Matt Tucker, Noah Jackson continuing to work with one another bumper to bumper here on lap 58 here at Pocono Raceway. Ronnie Norman, when does he bring that number 6 machine down pit road? Your top 10 all yet to pit tonight here under this green flag pit stop. If Durand is able to work his way up to the back bumper of the 17 of Payne Tulloch, those two can possibly get to working together here. Wavell and Taylor, they're on pit road in the 59 and 54. But if these two can get to working together, they can start to run down your 2 leaders out front. Maybe they can get back into this battle. Tulloch is exactly 3 seconds flat behind the 08 of Noah Jackson. So if they're going to get up there quickly here, he's going to need Durand to get up to that back bumper, and they need to start drafting with each other immediately. because that gap now 3.2 seconds. But out front, Norman still out in that NOS Energy number 6. Devontae Peterson this time. He's staying out as well. Vincent Short. Looks like Caleb Lamb's coming to pit road this time into 4. Yes, he is. Robert Asong on pit road this time. David Duran just ran his fastest lap of the race with a 54.88, just ahead of the 17 of Peyton Tulloch. Duran and Tulloch, they both swapped right there. I don't know why they got to battling each other instead of trying to work with each other, but now the gap between himself, David Duran, that is, and Noah Jackson, now 3.3 the gap. So major mistake there by those two drivers. Get to working with each other. Try to see if you can't run down the two in front of you with Matt Tucker and Noah Jackson. Those two are running bumper to bumper, working with each other. Why can't you guys? But either way, Duran takes over that spot from Peyton Tulloch as he falls back into that 11th position. Peterson, Short, Harold Tucker all on pit road together here. That leaves Norman, Lanfear, and Paul Irvin all left the pit here under this pit cycle with 30 laps to go. Norman coming through turn 3 this time. He's going to keep the 6 down low. He's coming to pit road this time. Or no, he's not. I'm sorry. It looked like he was going to have a really low exit off of turn 3, but I was wrong. Lanfear this time, he's going to stay out on the track along with Paul Irvin just behind him in the 48. David Duran now 2.7 seconds behind Noah Jackson in 5th. That is eventually going to be the battle for the lead between Matt Tucker, Noah Jackson. Those two are going to be battling it out for the lead as Ronnie Norman is coming to pit road. So once everything cycles through, Matt Tucker will take over the lead here in that 25 and currently in that 4th position as Lanfear's on pit road as well. Paul Irvin staying out, and he will be taking over the lead this lap. But eventually, once the pit cycles through, Tucker to the lead. Noah Jackson second. David Duran just 2.7 seconds back now, with Payne Tulloch just behind him. So Duran starting to slowly run down your top 2 leaders here once everything cycles through here under these green flag pit stops. But Paul Irvin now takes over the lead here in that 48W Chevy. Remember, leading a lap gets you 1 extra bonus point. And here in the NextCar Truck Series playoffs, folks, 1 bonus point can make the difference in whether you advance to the next round or your season comes to an end. So Irvin staying out there to lead that lap and staying out once again here with 28, make it 27 to go this time. Jackson has gotten around the 25 of Matt Tucker. Tucker with a big slide that time on the corner exit at 3. Maybe the tire's starting to fall off on the 25 a little bit. Duran now 2.6 back. He needs those two to get battling side by side here. Because if those two get to battling side by side, he can start to run them down. Tulloch's starting to fall off the back bumper of Duran this time in the 17. Half a second the gap between the 51 and the 17. The gap now back up to 2.7 seconds between Duran and Tucker. Make it 2.8 now. 8 seconds ahead up the road, though, is Paul Irvin coming to pit road this time. So that will hand the lead over to Noah Jackson in the 08, who had just gotten around Matt Tucker the lap prior. Duran, 2.8 seconds, the gap between himself and your leaders. Can he start to cut into that lead? Tulloch now 0.6 of a second off the back of the 51. Tulloch may be pushing those tires a little too hard early on. Remember, these drivers, they still have to make at least one more pit stop from here, folks. They cannot make it to the end of this race. So one more pit stop incoming for the entire field tonight. So, and that might just be the money stop here tonight. Jackson still trying to hold off the 25 of Matt Tucker. Now Tulloch a second off the back of Durand. Oh, Chris Taylor hard up into the outside wall. Caleb Lamb follows suit. Back-to-back hard contact with the outside wall off of the tunnel turn exit. Yeah, Chris Taylor dips onto pit road in National Guard Ford F-150. He's got a black flag. That car is broke. Man, the playoffs not getting kicked off on the right foot for multiple drivers tonight. Gonna have to get some damage fixed on that Ford. That is Chris Taylor. Coming into tonight's race in the playoffs, but needing a great run. Well, unfortunately, that is not going to be what happens tonight. But out front, Noah Jackson, Matt Tucker continuing to duel it out here with 24 laps to go. Tucker way up the track at the 25, almost up into the outside wall, trying to get as much momentum, carry off the corner as he can. Because, folks, David Durand, just 2.2 seconds back, folks. He is starting to run down your 2 leaders out front. Tulloch 2.2 back off Durand. Jackson last pit on lap 55. Tucker lap 55 as well. Durand pitted on lap 56. So just one lap fresher tires for the 51 of Durand, but he is starting to run down your 2 leaders out front. That gap was just almost 3 seconds a couple laps ago. Now it's down to 2.3. Chris Taylor's back down and away in that 54 National Guard Ford F-150 after making that hard contact with the outside wall off the tunnel turn. Caleb Lamb both drivers. Patrick James going to join him a lap down now in the 82. That leaves Adam Curtis, the last truck on the lead lap here in the 69. Back in that 14th position. But right now, beating out 3 playoff drivers on the running order. James in 15th, Lamb in 16th, Chris Taylor in 17th. But folks, David Durand has got it down to just above 2 seconds the gap. Tucker starting to fall off the back bumper of the 08 a little bit here in the 25. The gap now 0.4 of a second and growing between the 08 and 25. Let's jump on the helmet cam of the 51 of David Durand here with 20 laps to go and see what he sees out that front windshield. Let's ride along for a lap here aboard that 51 Chevy. You can see it, folks. Ever so slightly, those 2 trucks in front of them getting bigger and bigger up into the outside wall out of turn 1. That's not going to help his cases. Now, all that hard work that David Durand was doing, well, now, out the window it goes. He had it under 1.7 seconds, the gap between himself and Jackson. But now, back up to 2.3 and growing after that mistake out of 1. Caleb Lamb continues to just nurse that number 4 Chevy around this 2.5 mile track. Still just 1 lap down here in the 4. Doing everything he can to try to salvage this race tonight. Durand back to 2.3. Make it 2.4 this time through the tunnel turn. Behind your leader, Noah Jackson. Payne to luck 7.8, make it 7.9, make it 8 seconds back in that 4th position with Peterson 17 seconds back with a big battle between himself and Norman Bruin. 3 versus 6 here out of the tunnel turn this time. Big slide out of turn 3 for the 3. Durand 2.5 back now, falling back at a 51 after hitting the wall. But with 17 laps to go, folks, these drivers still have 1 pit stop left to make tonight. So opportunity for mistakes still present itself here at Pocono. Robert Asong cruising around here in that 10th position. 1.8 seconds back from 9th, Harold Tucker. But he's got himself an 8.2 second gap over Vincent Short in 11th. So Robert Asong doing a nice job here tonight, just holding on to that top 10. Matt Tucker has ran down Noah Jackson once again. Remember, Couple laps ago, it was almost up to half a second and more. But now, Tucker all over the back bumper of Noah Jackson, this time down here, funneling into the tunnel turn. All over the back bumper of the 08. 25 applying the pressure. Nothing doing this time through the tunnel turn, coming to 15 laps to go this time. Oh, Noah Jackson way up the track. Is that going to open up the door for the 25? This time it does not. Durant trying to find a way around the 82 machine of Patrick James. Now he's trying to work with him a little bit here. I like this. Pick up the draft. Work with this guy. Try to run down the 2 in the front. Now Devontae Peterson, he's going to be the first one to dip on the pit road. And from here on, folks, he can make it to the end of this race. The 3, the first one to pull on the pit road for this pit cycle. Wavell follows suit here in the 59 Ford. But now, 2.6 seconds the gap. If I'm Durand, when do you bring that 51 Hershey Chevy onto pit road? The undercut is what got you this far behind that battle for the lead to begin with. Matt Tucker's on pit road in the 25. If I was Durand, I would have pitted this time in the 51. Jackson, what does this do for him in the 08? Tucker, the first of the top 5 to pull onto pit road. Wavell off pit road right now. Now, when does the 08, the 51, when do they make their left-hand turn onto pit road? Has Matt Tucker forced them to play their hand? Has he forced their hand this time? Here comes Jackson. He's coming to pit road. So if you're Durand, you have got to come this time, and he is. You got to be careful getting onto pit road, though. Get that Hershey Chevy slowed up in time. I think he did. Trying to get every ounce of speed out of this pit entrance that he can. Is it a little too late, though, for the 51? Pulls into his box right behind the 08 of Jackson. Jackson's down and away. Durand, he's down and away in a 51. That hands the lead over to Peyton Tulloch in the 17. He is yet to make his final pit stop here tonight. Now, Noah Jackson, 4 seconds ahead of David Durand, folks. 4 seconds the gap. But look at this. Jackson, Tucker, even though Tucker came down a lap prior, they are still bumper to bumper here with 12 laps to go for what will be the battle for the lead once this pit cycle cycles through. Tulloch, Norman, Irvin still have yet to pit. But Durand, 4.2 seconds back. What are the chances of these two pitting on 2 different laps, but when it all goes down, they come out bumper to bumper once again? Matt Tucker pit on lap 76. Noah Jackson lap 77. Right there you can see a Matt Tucker pit Pitted on lap 76, a 15.133. Right there. Noah Jackson, lap 77, 14.833. So a much quicker pit stop for the 08 of Jackson. That is what prevented the major undercut from the 25 of Matt Tucker. 0.4 of a second faster pit stop for that 08 Chevy over the 25 Chevy. And that is what has led these two to be bumper to bumper once again, coming to 10 laps to go, this time through the tunnel turn. Side by side for the lead, potentially through turn 3. Oh, Jackson up the track, cuts off the nose of the 25. They're both up into the outside wall. Here comes the 69. He's still a lap down. He's going to come up. Now, Tucker trying to get back to the bumper of the 08. I guarantee he is seeing red out of his eyes tonight. Both of them up into the outside wall out of turn 3 last time by. And after everything that went down at Nashville, I guarantee you the 25, he is not going to be kind tonight. Unbelievable turn of events here in the battle for the lead and potentially the battle for the win. Jackson holding position here in third. Tucker in fourth. Durant now 3 seconds behind these guys. Make it 2.9. He's got no help around him. Norman continuing to stay out here with 9 laps to go. Tucker, Jackson, they're side by side. Does Tucker pay him back? He cuts off the nose. Jackson, now Tucker's back up into the outside wall. That's going to open up the door for the 08 of Jackson. Unbelievable with the 69 just behind this battle. They're going to be side by side into the tunnel turn. 25 way up the track. Here comes the 08. He's way up the track as well. Both drivers keep it off of each other. Side by side still for third, but eventually this will be the battle for the lead and the battle for the win. Dead even at the line this time. Tucker clears him. Now Jackson's going to try to poke his nose on the outside of the 25. Nothing doing. 69 not helping. Now Tucker way up the track. That's going to open up the door for the 08 at Jackson. Here comes Jackson in the 08. He's going to push up the track almost up to the left rear quarter panel of Tucker. Just behind them, you see the Hershey Chevy at David Duran. He's 2.5 back. Make it 2.2 back. Duran just wants to see these two get side by side for a lap or two and let him run them down. Tucker still holding off the 08 of Noah Jackson. Jackson sitting back, planning his next attack in the 08 Chevy. Out of turn 1, Tucker up the track. Jackson working that bottom line. They're going to have the 54 of Chris Taylor just ahead of them. Now, still 2.2 the gap back to Durant through the tunnel turn this time. Chris Taylor just ahead of them. He's 2 laps down. Norman, Irvin, still out there logging laps. Coming to 5 to go here at Pocono this time. Nope. I thought Norman, nope, or that time was out of turn, the tunnel turn. His song just ahead of your leader. Down through the tunnel turn they go. When does Norman and Irvin make that left-hander onto pit road? Norman staying out on the track this time. Paul Irvin, what does he do? He's going to look to stay out on the track this time as well with the high exit off of 3. Yes, he does. Tucker holding off. Oh, that's going to get tight between himself and Jackson again. Duran now 2.3 back. And earlier, folks, I said that it all went down at Nashville Super Speedway. It went down at Iowa. So quick correction there between Tucker and Jackson. But once again, Jackson just all over the back bumper, the 25 of Tucker, shoving him down the front stretch here with 4 laps to go here at Pocono, folks. 4 to go. 10 miles. Norman continuing to stay out with a 9-second lead here over Irvin. Duran now 2.3 back from Jackson. Not going to be a factor here unless the caution comes out. But still, a strong run in a 51 holding on to a top 5 position this time. But Tucker, Jackson, side by side once again through turn 3. We saw how this played out when Jackson was making a move. Now Tucker cuts off the nose of Jackson. Well, big slide from the 25. Here comes Jackson fighting back. 3 to go. Ronnie Norman at this stage of the race just gonna probably run this thing out. If he runs out of fuel, he runs out of fuel. If he stays with fuel in the tank, if he has enough to make it, he will eventually coast to your race win. But still, all the eyes are on third place between Tucker and Jackson. Irvin just ahead of this battle on the 48W Chevy. With 2 laps to go this time, Norman through turn 3. His bed has been made in that NOS Energy number 6. He's not coming off the corner. It took a while for him to hit the gas pedal off of turn 3. But folks, 2 laps to go here at Pocono. Norman, Paul Irvin, their beds have been made. Do they have enough fuel? Do they have enough for 5 more miles? Make it 4 miles left here tonight. The battle in Irvin's rearview mirror. That is between the 25 and the 08. We thought that was eventually going to be the battle for the win. But now everything has played out perfectly in the hands of Ronnie Norman. Back down through turn 3 here in the NOS Energy number 6 out of turn 3 to see the white flag here at Pocono Raceway. White flag is in the air here for Ronnie Norman, presented by True Designs. But side by side, this is for second. Tucker to the inside of the 48 of Irvin. Irvin trying to hold on. Jackson, he's getting boxed in behind the 48. Tucker makes the pass. 48, he's going to try to hold him off. But out front, folks, Ronnie Norman for the final time coming through the tunnel turn in that number 6. Folks, you have got to go a long way back in the NXTCAR history books to find the last time that this number 6 NOS Energy Ford F-150 has been to victory lane. But tonight, he is going to put that behind him. And for the final time off of turn number 3, he's going to have enough fuel. And then he has answered the question of when he's getting back to victory lane. The answer is now. Ronnie Norman gets back to NXTCAR victory lane, and he punches his ticket to the second round of the playoffs. Ronnie Norman is going to get back to victory lane for the first time in 4 seasons in the NXTCAR Racing League. Matt Tucker second. Noah Jackson has to settle for third. But Ronnie Norman, does he have enough fuel to do a burnout here at Pocono? Tucker pushing him around the track. Several drivers coasting around this track right now. You can see at the 79, he's out of fuel. He's getting a push from the 69. The long-awaited trip to victory lane for the number 6 of Ronnie Norman. Four seasons in the NXTCAR Racing League since this number 6 has been able to pull onto the front stretch of a track in this racing league and burn it down. Does he have enough fuel to enjoy the moment? Brings it to a stop at the start-finish line. I don't know if he has enough fuel, folks, to do a burnout here at Pocono. It does not look like he does, folks. The 25 of Matt Tucker trying to help him out. The 17 of Tulloch trying to give him a little bit of momentum here as well. But, man, finally is going to get to victory lane, but not going to be able to do a burnout to enjoy it. Man. Folks, let's check out your race results from tonight. Ronnie Norman gonna finally get back to NXTCAR victory lane. Matt Tucker second, Noah Jackson third, Paul Irvin fourth, David Duran fifth, Payne Tulloch in sixth, Devontae Peterson seventh, Michael Lamphere eighth, Robert Wavell ninth, with Robert Asong rounding out your rounding out your top 10. 11th, Vincent Short, Harold Tucker 12th, Adam Curtis 13th, Patrick James 14th, Max Gamble 15th, Chris Taylor 16th, and Caleb Lamb, your regular season champion, rounding out the field in that 17th position. But folks, don't go anywhere, because I think we're going to have some very excited post-race interviews right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Soldiers, do it like I told you. Come on, my soldiers, do it like I told you. Come on, my soldiers, do it like I told you. Come on, my soldiers, do it like I told you.
So come on and put your hands up. We're gonna bring the house down. No one could ever stop us. We're gonna set it off right now. top. This is my time, I've waited long enough. I'm taking my moment, don't matter how it was. No regrets, no matter how hard it gets. I'm going for greatness. Here I go now. Blast off, about to leave the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm gone. But don't blink, you might miss it. Mode set to launch. Higher, 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 higher. Kicking and smoking, spitting fire. Say what you will, call me a liar. Don't believe me, look in my eye. Better suit up for a showdown. Give me that kingdom, hand me my crown. This is my time, I've waited long enough. I'm taking my moment, don't matter how it was. No regrets, no matter how hard it gets. I'm going for greatness. This is my time, I've waited long enough. I'm taking my moment, don't matter how it was. No regrets, no matter how hard it gets. I'm going for greatness. Going for greatness. Here I go, up to the top. I'll be the greatest of all time, full stop. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you're gone. It's a knockout, you ain't getting up from. Faster, stronger, all lasts longer. This is no joke, I came to conquer. Blind ambition, fame is my monster. World's a stage and this is my concert. Gonna rise up, gonna throw down. Give me that kingdom, hand me my crown. This is my time, I've waited.
All right, folks, welcome back to your post-race interviews from Pocono Raceway. And at the end of the 90 laps, for the first time in 4 seasons here in NextCar, Ronnie Norman, you are finally getting your trip to victory lane. And I got 4 words for you, buddy. It's about damn time.
It is about damn time, Ronnie. Wow. I wouldn't have expected to be a fuel strategy race win. But, hey, we'll take him as we can get him for sure, because it's been way too long since I got to experience some NextCar victory lanes. So, yeah, we're happy. My clutch pedal foot feeling great right now. So, just really happy with the way the race went. Really happy that no yellows flew there those last 28 laps or so. Wow. Just can't really believe that everything kind of worked out. You know, you just got to kind of commit to a strategy whenever things are that close on fuel, and that's why just kind of saved. Appreciate Peyton Tulloch for letting me use his draft there halfway through the race. I told him I'd give him a shout out for that. He told me to go around him, but I was not wanting to do that. So everything worked out the way I wanted it to. Usually doesn't, and usually a yellow flag would have came out there and would have got next card. But hey, tonight's different, and we're gonna take that victory for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Walk me through, how were you able to save as much as you did? I mean, you last pit on lap 62, pushing it 28 laps. While, I mean, the clutch pedal, you mentioned putting into use, but, man, it definitely was a lot more than that. It took a lot of skill.
Yeah, I just after the stage, we went in or I think it was the stage where we had the final runs or whichever. But I just committed to a zone where every time I got to it, I was braking or using the clutch pedal. I was trying not to, think or what everybody else was doing around me, kind of dictate that I run a little harder, or not stay on it. But I knew that it was going to be close either way to save those extra 2.5 laps. So I buckled down really hard, saved every little bit I could, and then there in that last run when I had like a 10-second lead, I was running easy everywhere. So that way I knew I had a little bit extra for if people did catch up to me, I could run harder. So with that 10-second buffer really helped out there. And those last closing laps, I could just run. I wouldn't even run it hard. Everybody can go by me. I didn't care what anybody was doing. So yeah, no, it was just lucky. Well, I guess not really lucky. I guess I just like I said, put it to the test and it worked out. And yeah, like I said, we won and excited about it. And yeah, just happy to be moving on to the next round of the playoffs. Don't have to worry about Atlanta next week.
Yeah, that's going to be my next question. We talked about in the pre-race show just how important coming out to a race like this and getting that win, especially with it being in the initial race of the playoffs. But now we get to hear it from the guy that is experiencing it. What does this race mean when you look at the schedule? Next week's Atlanta, and then week 13 we go to Chicagoland.
Yeah, no. Now next week I'll probably run a little bit more aggressively, try some different stuff. Try to see what we can do. Hopefully it's not a wreck fest up there in Atlanta. So I doubt it will be. Like I said, the trucks are usually pretty decent. It might honestly be another fuel strategy race. Who knows? But yeah, no. And then moving on to Chicagoland, like I said, we'll just we're able to do a little bit different. Run some different strategies here in the final two races of these playoff the first round here, and then to go into the next one just to try to learn just some stuff going in. And so yeah, it's really nice to have that buffer for sure.
Absolutely, buddy. But hey, congrats on getting back to NextCar Victory Lane tonight and punching your ticket to the second round of the playoffs.
Thank you, man. We're excited. We're happy to be in Victory Lane, and yeah, we're ready to see what we can do the rest of these playoffs. Absolutely.
I just wish you had a little more gas to be able to do a burnout on the front stretch.
Yeah, shout out to Tug for getting me back to the start-finish line so I can at least look like I finished there.
Absolutely, buddy. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your second place finisher, Matt Tucker. Man, you started fourth, you finished second, but tonight, man, it was you and Noah Jackson and David Duran continuously inside the top three all night long, bumper to bumper.
Yeah, first and foremost, congrats to Norman. Yeah, been a long time coming. I mean, could have had it last week and then ended up getting it this week. But like he says, the wins matter only when it comes to the playoffs. So that gets him in the next round, and like you said, don't have to worry about it. So, but yeah, back to what you said. Yeah, I think me, the 08 and the 51-24 really worked well together. That whole second stage, we kind of pulled away from the rest of the pack and kind of just dictated our own race. Thought we had the right strategy, trying to pit with enough time to maybe make up some ground, but Norman had us all fooled. So yeah, it was overall. I mean, not really disappointing, but just was really a strategic race, and just kind of a little bit short.
Yeah, absolutely. Walk me through the final pit stop there where we had seen where the undercut had worked all night long, but you were the first one out of the top three to dip onto pit road. But then once Jackson completed his pit stop, there he was right in your rearview mirror. So somehow, some way, the undercut didn't necessarily work there. So walk me through what your thought was when he came off pit road, basically right behind you.
I figured we'd be close. I mean, we've been getting good in and out of the pit road, both the two other green flag stops that we did. So I figured it'd be close, but yeah, I ended up getting by him, and then he ended up getting back by me, and yeah, it was just overall just was good racing, and yeah, we worked well together up until the last 10 laps, and ended up getting him at the end. So yeah, overall, yeah, pretty solid night.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of momentum does this carry over into Atlanta next week? Obviously, completely different style track, but you came out here, you got the stage win, you finished second.
Oh, it gives me a lot of points. I mean, at least. I mean, feel like can not really. I mean, still worry about the big one and getting wrecked and all that, but gets a little bit of cushion knowing that we had the bonus points going into the playoffs, and then got some more in the first race. So like we talked about on the pre-race show, where points are going to be matter. I mean, I feel like me and 08 and Paul and David all had good runs in the points, and don't really have to worry about that. I mean, Peyton had a good points night also. So bubbles go look really weird after we do points in a little bit, and we'll see who's going to be on it and who's going to be outside looking in.
Absolutely, buddy. Congrats on that second place tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And moving on to your third place finisher, Noah Jackson. Man, it looked like you and Tucker were going to be battling it out there for the win once everything cycled through. But Norman, there to play spoiler and move on to the second round. But hey, you can't be too mad about a third place tonight.
No, it was definitely, especially with me, Tuck, and Rain, the little pack that we had to get as big as a gap as we did was crazy. And Norman, that's just crazy. I never thought that you could save that much fuel at Pocono, but he showed us all tonight that you definitely could. And it was a really fun race all the way around and good points night. And me and Tuck, we had a really good battle, and I hate that we got into each other coming out of turn 3. I'll take blame on that. But I mean, still all in all, a good night.
Yeah, absolutely. Walk me through that final pit stop where you were just able to avoid the undercut there from the 25.
I don't know if it was because I got on the pit road more aggressive, or was it a cleaner stop? I don't know what it was, but I was honestly surprised to be right on Tuck's rear bumper whenever I came out of pit road. I thought I was going to at least be 2.5, 3 seconds back, but I mean, it worked out. Can't complain. And it was just, I guess, I really don't know what it was.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of momentum does this give you going into next week where obviously, super speedway racing, it's a wild card race?
It's definitely a wild card race for sure, but tonight we got some good points, but Atlanta, it's just like what Tuck said. You always got the big one, so you just got to try to stay out of it, and you just got to finish these races and be there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And one last question for you. Obviously yourself, Tucker, Norman, Durand, you guys had great races, but what was while some of your playoff competitors did not, Caleb Lamb had some unfortunate luck on the front stretch, so this was another guy that you were battling for the regular season champion, and then obviously here in the playoffs. So how much, what kind of a difference does it make when you have a really good race and those guys have a really bad race?
I mean, we all have good and bad races, but it only takes one race and then you're right back in the hunt. Like, heck, either Caleb or anybody else that's below the cutoff line, if me, Tuck, Durand, or anybody else wreck out next week, we're right in the same boat with them, and then next thing you know, they win the race. So nobody's safe and nobody's out with the win you're in, and especially with Atlanta next week. So you're just gonna have to just avoid the big one and be there whenever it counts.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. But hey, congrats on that third place finish tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. But folks, that is going to do it for your post-race interviews from the 2.5-mile track of Pocono Raceway. Ronnie Norman finally going to get back to victory lane, and he is officially moving on to the second round of the NextCar Truck Series playoffs here in Season 9. But folks, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you guys next week at the high banks of Atlanta Motor Speedway. Enjoy the rest of your week. God bless. Good night. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Catch you guys next week.
so bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so lifted by my